Travis Wayne Goodsell. I don't know if you're able to see what I subscribe to, or if I've made that private. I intended in the beginning to make it public, because this channel was intended originally to be my business channel. And then my personal one got attacked by Mormons, and YouTube joined in to cancel culture me. So I'm on this one. But I've subscribed to a women's, I guess you can say, fashion channel. She models vintage clothing, and of course she's a redhead. If you don't know my story, she's got to be a redhead. No, she doesn't have to be a redhead. That's what. If we had proper sex ed as children, we would not be going through so much torment that we give each other later on in life. But as a child, growing up in a Mormon household, my mother, being the homemaker of a good Mormon household, sat us kids around the kitchen table to do projects during her soap opera time, and when she ironed our clothes, and that was before permanent press. And I think fabric softener was starting to come out, dryer sheets. I'm not sure when they originated, but she, one of the projects that she had us do as kids was to put out the old Sears catalog, and then JCPenney eventually came around, and to have us do dioramas, tear out pictures from the catalog and paste them, glue them. Not sure if we did taping. It was available, so we might have done that too. From the Sears catalog, because my mom had gotten a brand new one, so that was her way of recycling the old one, is having us do a diorama project, a collage, or whatever it's called. And as I started to enter into my 5th grade year, there were things I started to notice about women that I never noticed before. Again, sex education is essential for all human beings. And the Sears catalog was chock full of educational material. Not just, well, yeah, it was all fashion design. It wasn't Playboy. Sears catalog, the centerfold issue. That might have helped save their business. Of course, back in those days, that's when women were standing up saying, "You're objectifying women by making money off of hot, beautiful women better than we're looking." Yeah, women were insecure about themselves and lashed out at others for their insecurities. They were body shaming themselves and projecting it onto other women to body shame them. Shame on you. You're all beautiful in your own special way. And so women became a dirty little secret, shall we say, as I couldn't look at the pictures of women in the presence of my siblings, and especially my mom, Dad was never around. He was always at work, 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. And then Sunday was his 70s thing, because he was in the 70s quorum, back when they had 70s quorums. And if you're thinking, oh, he was a member of the quorum of the 70? Which quorum? Was it one of the third or fourth, or whichever one was over North America? Or was it the first quorum of 70 or second quorum, Travis? No, there were stake 70s. See, as more time goes by, more things are forgotten to Mormons. But we're not talking about that now. We're talking about women. Girls, girls, girls. And so I didn't have sex ed from my dad. It was after the school had it that my parents decided maybe we should have the sex ed talk with our kids. And Mom went into the girls' bedroom and told them specific graphic details of the penis. That's what the sisters told me. My sisters told me. Yeah, she said the word penis. Oh, wow. Forbidden. And, well, that's what it's like in a Mormon family. Certain words are forbidden. And so to hear your parents say them, horrifying, shocking, scandalous, taboo. So my sisters got the full education from my mom. But my dad, yeah, he stood at the doorway as Todd and I were... Well, Todd was eager to listen. I was like, oh dear God, please end this now. Calgon, take me away. And God answered my prayer and not Todd's. As my dad said, around this time you'll start to wet your bed, and that's normal. So if you have any questions, just feel free to ask. And away he went. He was done. Oh my God. And I was like, huh, prayer works. But yeah, that was it. Know nothing about the female body. Nothing about how women work. And so when my sisters finally caught up to puberty, I first noticed with Tiffany, obviously, because she was the oldest of the three. The 17-year-old, or when I was 17, they finally had a fifth child, Tabitha, 17 years apart from me. But I didn't understand why she was getting so upset, and I wasn't paying attention because I didn't know that I needed to pay attention to the time of the month. She got violent. Wow. But yeah, sex education would have helped. Real sex education. Not this taboo thing, oh, we can't talk about it, oh no, it's a shameful, embarrassing, humiliating thing, we can't discuss it. But, yeah, it would have helped. It would have helped to have a booth that the Jews have, separated from the house. Women think that's a horrible thing, that the Jews are horrible people for having such a thing. Leave us alone! I just want you to be nice. But, yeah. The marriages crash and fail because we're not given proper sex ed. Because women don't understand why we're always wanting sex all the time. And they think that they can tell us to just stop it. and that we will just naturally stop it, and that if we can't stop it, then we've got something wrong with us. Can you stop your monthly cycle? Yeah, I didn't think so. It requires drugs and IUD or UID or whatever that device is. That is the best. Drugs cause emotional mood shifts, as my first wife demonstrated, and but I didn't do the diaphragm thing, so I don't know. But the IUD or whatever it's called, a godsend. I'm gonna have to take a pause here for a second, in just a little bit, and I'll get back to the love of my life. Alrighty. And so, I would, as a child, because of the Sears catalog project that my mom got me into, not realizing herself the full nature of men. Oh, I should probably go change my laundry over. I think she's probably done by now. I wanted to involve myself more and more, because one of the things of human behavior is that when you're deprived of something that's involving a basic function of life, like eating, sleeping, you tend to overindulge when you finally get an opportunity to do it. So like if you're deprived candy and only have candy for special occasions, you tend to overindulge when you finally get around to getting it. That's a human behavioral trait of insecurity, is what it's called, for other situations. And people don't understand why it's an insecurity. It's because we're, as humans, being deprived of it on a regular basis so that we can normalize it. And food is not something that you're supposed to be insecure about, and clothing and shelter and sleep, but lots of ways to abuse people. So yes, with women in puberty, as I already had the background of Beth from kindergarten. I'm not going to get into that because I'm just going to end up crying. And so I already have an emotional attachment to women. And so, yes, red hair, Charlie Brown and Snoopy show, the little redheaded girl, and then other redheads that appear in my television or movie viewing. So yes, Gwyneth Paltrow as Iron Man's secretary or assistant. She did everything for him. Yeah, redhead. And Lois Lane in the newer Superman as a redhead. Wow. Yeah. So I didn't understand why people would pick on redheads as a young peer, because I liked a little redheaded girl. I didn't understand why other guys would rather be dead. If you don't know the joke, good, because it's abusive. And so, yeah, I wanted to design women's fashions. I wanted to have a collection of women's fashions, because that's what my mom had taught me to be an artist with. And so my one year my sisters got Barbie fashion plates, and I was the one who wanted to play it all the time. And so I had to go to my sisters and humble myself. Can I play with the Barbie fashion plates? Okay, but you have to do it right here outside of our door. Okay. And so yeah, I was playing it as often as I could, because it was awesome. The fashions were awesome. And so yeah, Dainty Rascal Vintage is the newest love of my life. She apparently has found the fountain of youth, because I sense she might be older than she actually is. She reveals a lot of herself in her little 20 to 1 minute video segments, where most of the time she's just doing a fashion show of vintage clothing. And 3 days ago she did a book reading where she reveals that she might actually be indicating she likes hairy men. I don't know if I'm hairy enough. But yesterday she did a couple more book readings and revealed more about her, because when you're reading something, there's indicators that humans give naturally that reveal themselves, their true inner self, what they're thinking. And so yes, her facial expressions I pay very close attention to. When she says certain things, like, oh, I love fuzzy things. But other ways. She was reading one about, I'm guessing, a Native American Indian, an old vintage book on a couple who fall in love with each other, and the facial expressions and the shifting of the tone as she reads. So yeah, it reveals a lot about herself. I'm assuming it's her home rather than a studio made to look like a home, and that reveals a lot about her as a result as well. And apparently last day or so she changed to have a different location for her video settings. She also last few days, or last day or so, she like does 1 billion a day. It's hard to keep up on all of them. She's got almost 800 already, but she's done a selfie video thing. I'm not, no, stick to what works, stick to what you've been doing, show us the fashion, not up close moving camera things. But yeah, fascinating woman. But that's the thing about women, is that when a guy is interested and attracted, he actually pays attention to all these little mannerisms, even quirks. And it's something that women get embarrassed and ashamed of and want to cover up and hide, because the guy reveals that he's noticing. And no, don't. That's what endears us to you. But yeah, I'm able to watch her moods for different video clips, even though they're little short segments, because sometimes she's playful, sometimes she's tempting, sometimes she's just doing it just to do it and get it over with. Other times she's, you know, focused on the dress that she's wearing. Other times it's about her, and she has little video or music clips with her videos, vintage songs to accompany them. So that also reveals her inner thinking reveals herself for the choice of song with the dress that she's dancing to. And so, yeah, she has endeared me. Too much lipstick, but as a vintage theme, fully appropriate, because that's what they did back in the day. Too much lipstick. But, yeah, fascinating woman. I'm not sure. I suspect she's single. I suspect she's very desirous to have a family life. Yeah, I can't do nothing about it. She's just a video girl rather than a real life person in front of me that I can talk with. So, yeah, very interesting. I'm probably going to do a little segment now of some screenshots, and then put in the times so much in love. Just a little segment, because YouTube would freak out if I put too much of the song in. So, yeah, this is what sucks in Mormonism, is that they cover up, they guilt, they shame, they condemn for what is supposed to be natural and beautiful and awesome. And something that could have been a big money maker if I was allowed to pursue fashion design for women. $100,000 starting pay in New York back in the 90s.
So in love, 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 so